subscription with you just to go over some things. Yeah, I know we've talked about raising kids together, so I'm happy to talk about some of our expectations. All right, so you'll be on call all week long. So I'm on call 168 hours a week. That's correct. And you'll handle everything going on in the home. Okay, that seems doable. Right, you'll handle the cleaning, so things like vacuuming, washing the floors, making sure the counters are clean, picking up after the kids and myself. You also need to handle the dry cleaning, washing the clothes, drying the clothes, folding the clothes, and putting them away in their respective rooms. All the food, so you look at the pantry and figure out what we're missing. You come up with the grocery list, do the grocery shopping, and prep all of the meals just to make sure that I have something to eat. Oh, is there anything else? Yeah, you would also handle everything with the kids. Like if they get up overnight, you get up overnight. If there's something going on at school, you take them to and from school. You arrange all their activities. If they need to go to the doctor, you make the appointment. You take them to and from. So I'm on call 168 hours a week. What about sick days or vacation days? Oh, you're right. I should have thought to mention that earlier. I'm so sorry. Yes, you will be handling all sick days with the kids, and when we have a vacation, you're going to organize it and take care of them and make sure that they're loaded up and all the stuff is packed. You'll also be packing my stuff. So will you be doing anything to contribute to the housework? I mean, I'll take the trash out and mow the lawn if you remind me. This doesn't sound like you would be very involved with the home or the kids. I'll be the one who works in the relationship. You know what? This isn't fair or equitable. I don't want to put my career on hold for this. Wait, no, you can't quit. It would cost us over $150,000 to pay people to do what you would do every year for free.
Welcome to my channel. So today we are going to talk about why women are choosing to be single. What is the reason behind it? So let's watch these videos and then we're gonna talk about it at the end.
You know, I'm really starting to understand that for some men who want these traditional stay-at-home wives, it's not about the love. It's not about the furthering of the family. It's about control. Because you will have this woman who is beautiful, who has devoted her life to you and the family, and you break her down. You strip her of everything that makes her her. You take away her joy, her happiness, and then you restrict her movement and her ability to succeed. I don't understand. You can say you can love someone when you financially abuse them, you strip them of their independence, you break down their self-confidence, and then at the end of the day, you wonder why they don't want to sleep with you. Oh, and a lot of y'all talk about it's just cooking and clean. I cook and clean all the time. I don't like doing the shit. It's not hard work, and neither is a lot of y'all jobs. But it's monotonous work, and it's mental stress. Also, especially when it comes to having kids. Some of y'all can't be around your kids for longer than an hour without you either blowing up her phone or telling her to come get them. The argument is not whether or not you at your job and what you do is important. It's about appreciating what the other person in your home and the other partner in your life is giving up so that you can achieve your dreams. Because guess what? If she leaves, all this cooking and cleaning, you're going to have to do that shit anyway and work. And if you think that she can't go here and find a man that can replace the one thing that you pride yourself on, and that's a check, you got another thing coming. Appreciate her, or somebody else will.
Being a stay-at-home mom is not a job whatsoever. It's a privilege. You're privileged.
Good morning. Hey, so I watched both of your videos, and from your videos, I can tell that you are actually not in this situation yourself. Though you make a couple valid points, I just want to clarify a few things. One, yes, it is a privilege to be a stay-at-home mom, but it's also a privilege to have a stay-at-home mom. Women can hit the workforce and make just as much money as you tomorrow. I think stay-at-home moms just want some appreciation, some consideration, some acknowledgement of the role that they also play in this family, so that you could focus strictly on work and she can focus on the family, including you, including the little tedious things that you might not worry about because you're focused on work. Your analogy of watching TV at work, I'll use the analogy of having a break at work, having a vacation at work, having adult conversations at work.
The entire scope of being a stay-at-home parent is to keep the child healthy, happy, safe, fed, and growing into being a socially accepted adult later in life. There are no people who are stating, despite many presumptions, that a stay-at-home parent should be paid some sort of salary. However, the reason why we constantly compare being a stay-at-home parent to many other positions is because you would not expect any other person to do the things that you expect of a stay-at-home parent. You would not expect a nanny to fold your laundry. You would not expect a babysitter to make you dinner. You would not expect the daycare to come make your bed.
Like what? Let's keep it a buck.
Just call his bluff. This is probably one of the most lopsided arguments between hardworking men and stay-at-home moms. There's no secret that me and my baby mother broke up for like 9 months. And in between those 9 months, I had the pleasure of having my 2-year-old with me all summer. Boy, let me tell you, when I say being a stay-at-home mom is like 7 jobs in one, not only do you have to cook, clean, handle the finances, handle the grocery runs, book all appointments, possibly dealing with postpartum, and at the end of the day of your mental stimulation overload, you have to worry about how you look, catering to your man's physical needs, even though you've probably been overstimulated all day. Now, when I seen this full-time responsibility, I quickly realized that I was tripping. So obviously we worked it back out. And
You're thinking about having a baby with your partner or you're pregnant already, it's really important to have some conversations that cut through the fantasy and actually get to the core of what actually matters when you're going to raise a tiny human together. So let's get started. First topic to discuss is, why do we even want a baby? Is it love? Is it biology? Is it pressure? Are we trying to fix the relationship? Are we both 100% in, or is one of us compromising? Are we on the same page? This is the first question out of the gate that needs to be answered, that needs to be discussed. Number 2, how will parenting affect our relationship? What happens when we're sleep deprived or when sex is off the table for weeks, months? How do we plan to stay connected? Not just as co-parents, but as partners, as life partners. What's the money plan? Kids are expensive, diapers, daycare, medical bills, and eventually college. Will one of us stay home? If yes, how's that going to impact our finances? We have to work all this stuff out prior to the baby coming. Number 4, what are the expectations around parenting roles? Who's doing the nighttime feeds? Who gets up with the sick baby? What are our feelings around discipline? Are we falling into traditional roles by default, or are we making conscious choices? We need to figure out the kind of parents we want to be and what the expectations are with each partner prior to the baby. And lastly, a discussion around, what were your parents like? And is that behavior going to show up in your parenting? Remember, childhood wounds have a way of coming roaring back when you're raising your own kids. At least the stuff that you've not yet resolved comes back. And the key here is not about being perfect, it's about being honest and being prepared and working together with your partner to be the best parents you can be, and not letting things just happen, not being on autopilot, actually making conscious choices before the bundle of joy actually arrives.
If you're thinking about having a child with a man this year, these are some questions that I think you should be asking him. First and foremost, who's going to wake up with the baby in the middle of the night? You? Me? Both of us? Who's going to wake up with the baby? Now, the answer to this question will be very telling, because not only do men often assume that women should be doing the bulk of the overnights with the baby, they also assume that women are just inherently better at caregiving, that they know what they're doing with this baby, when in fact, most women are parents for the first time as well, and so they are learning as they go. And the reason this question is important is it's going to tell you a lot about what your partner expects to do in those early days of parenting. Do you plan to take parental leave if it's available to you? If there is a paid parental leave available to you through your employer, will you take it? Here's the thing about paid parental leave. Even when men have it, they don't always take it, which is surprising to so many people, because we assume that if you have paid parental leave, why wouldn't you take it? But when you ask them, they say they don't want to hurt their careers, that it's frowned upon in their workplace. But what they don't realize is when they don't take their paid parental leave, they're directly harming women in the workforce. They're feeding into the motherhood penalty. When women have children, they are punished for it. When men have children, there's something called the fatherhood bonus. They do better in their careers, they earn more money, whereas women do worse after having children. If we plan to put our kid in childcare, who do you think should cover the cost of childcare? When it comes to childcare, oftentimes families find themselves in a position where they're unable to find childcare or unable to afford childcare. And when they're doing this math, oftentimes men will say things like, her salary does not cover the cost of childcare, therefore it doesn't make sense for her to work. But let's think about childcare like we think about the mortgage. It is a shared family expense. It is not something that she is solely responsible for. If we can't afford the cost of childcare, who's going to stay home to watch the baby? Is it you? Is it me? Are we sharing the responsibility? What's that going to look like? Now, if we can't afford the childcare, who's going to stay home? Because oftentimes this work disproportionately falls to women. They are forced out of the workforce due to the cost of childcare, lack of paid leave, and the motherhood penalty. But it does not have to be like this, because men aren't always out earning their partner. And just because they are, it does not mean they're the obvious choice to stay in the workforce. What do you think it means to be a good dad? And why do we ask them what it means to be a good dad? We ask this question because there's many double standards when it comes to parenting. Women are held to an incredibly high standard when it comes to parenting, and men are held to a very low standard when it comes to parenting. And so when they say, what's a good dad? They might say, oh, he provides for his family, he protects his family, but it takes a lot more than that to be a good dad. Do you know what the mental load is? And if so, are you prepared to handle it? Now, why do we have to talk about the mental load? Well, it's one of the number one reasons that women resent their partner after having children. It's also the number one reason that women are burnt out after having children. The mental load is constant and never ending, and oftentimes women carry the bulk of this work. Kids create a lot of chores: laundry, dishes, cooking, cleaning. How do you think we should handle that? Women often do a disproportionate amount of this work. They are doing exponentially more work in the home than their partners are, even when they're the breadwinner and they actually work more hours. These are conversations a lot of people don't have before having kids, and you absolutely should, because you will talk to so many women who are married with children and they will say, our marriage was perfect until we had kids. He said he was going to be a good dad, and then we had kids. The expectations for women and men in parenthood are very different, and so it's very important to have conversations about this early and often.
Who you have children with is the biggest decision that you will ever make in your entire life. And I have one question that you can ask your partner to see if they are the right one. Only 18 years, but it's like the rest of your life. Your kid's getting married, your kid's doing everything. Like, you are literally stuck with this person your entire life. And I think that this question will tell you what type of person you are going to marry, and also who you're going to divorce and who you need to parent with. This is how you tell what he values in a relationship and out of a woman. I want you to ask, when we have children, what do you think I should be doing for Mother's Day? What do you think that day would look like? He's going to give you one of two answers, okay? One of the answers is going to be, I think you should be doing whatever you want for that day. That's the answer we're looking for. Something along those lines of, I don't know, maybe a massage. I don't know, whatever you want to do for the day, it's your day. Okay? The answer we're not looking for is kids should be with their mother on Mother's Day. The mom should want to spend all of their time that they have with their children on Mother's Day. I'm not saying you can't spend your time with your kids on Mother's Day. I'm saying it's about the choice of your partner to be able to allow you to make that choice for yourself. It's not just Mother's Day. It's going to be every single holiday. It's going to be your birthday. It's going to be all of these things. And what he values in a woman, probably his mom, is, does a woman deserve time off and to be recognized for the contribution that she puts into the family? Or are you only valuing her as a mother?
These are the conversations I would have before you have a baby. Be very clear and upfront on your expectations of each other. Do you expect your spouse to stop gaming all the time? Do you think they should just set a time limit? Do you think that your spouse should stop having their weekly nights out with their friends? Do you expect them home at certain times? Do you expect that they should be talking to you before going out and making plans with other people? Who is going to be in the delivery room? Who is allowed to come up to the hospital to visit? How soon and who is able to come visit once you're home? How are you both going to proactively set boundaries with your parents who will inevitably try to put their expectations of child rearing on you both? Are you breastfeeding? Are you planning on being the only one getting up at night with the baby, or do you expect your partner to help out as well during night feedings? Who's going to get the baby ready in the morning if you're taking them to childcare? Who's going to pick them up? Who is in charge of finding the childcare? Are you okay with letting family members watch or keep your baby? And if not, talk about why. How are you going to parent your toddler? Think past the baby stage and think about how you two are going to be on the same page when it comes to parenting styles. Are you going to do the cry it out method? How are you two going to split the domestic labor moving forward so that this is equal and not just falling on the shoulders of the woman, which is typically what happens? Who's going to be the one researching the parent methods, the feeding methods, when you're going to start solids? Who's going to be the one taking the lead on that? How are you two going to stay committed to each other? Are you going to have weekly check-ins? Are you going to make it a monthly occasion that you two have a date night together? And if so, who's going to watch the baby? Family? Are you going to find a babysitter? Should you start vetting for that right now? Who's going to be the one taking baby to the doctor's appointments? Who is going to be the one accumulating all of the needs for the baby? The things that you don't get at your shower. You might not think that you have problems now, and you might not even have problems now, but there is no reason that you shouldn't be preemptively going to therapy now. Absolutely no reason you shouldn't be doing that. Skip the baby classes. If you've taken and you know basic anatomy, you're going to be just fine. Maybe take a breastfeeding class if you really think that that's what you want to do. Is your partner going to be supportive if you choose to breastfeed, or if you decide that breastfeeding is too difficult and you want to pump, or that that's too difficult and you want to bottle feed? How can they support you in those choices? Also, just think past 1 year, 18 months, because having a baby is a very short-lived scenario. You're going to have a toddler, a young adult, and a teen for a much longer period than you're going to have a simple baby. Granted, yes, babies are hard, but plan for further past that point. Talk about expectations now. Express them now. Do not leave them on the table unexpressed, because that is an open door for resentment. Tell me what you think I missed in the comments of things that you think conversations should be had.
Alright, so we're looking at a couple of videos that we have compiled today, and literally you're seeing so many women are saying they are okay being single. So many of them are choosing to have peace of mind. So many of them are saying, you know what, it's better to be single than being in a bad relationship. It's better to be alone than being with a man who is wrong for you. It's better to be alone and be with a man who literally is going to drain you, your energy, financially, spiritually, emotionally. So that's what they're saying. So why is it that so many women are choosing to be, to love themselves, to be financially independent, to be emotional, stable, and also just to be comfortable by just being alone? So most of them are saying, you know what, if I've been single, if I've been able to take care of myself emotionally, physically, and of course financially, if I've been able to, to take those steps to level up, to be able to, to love myself, so that I'm ready when someone else come into my life, I know I can handle the relationship, I know I can provide, I know I can adapt to that relationship and be a supportive partner to my partner, So women are saying, if I've been single for all this time and I've been able to level up, I've been able to take steps to make sure that I'm okay, both mentally, physically, and financially. So if I'm going to have a man in my life, then that man needs to do something in my life, have something that of value that is going to change my life for the better. That's basically what I'm getting across these videos. So these women literally right now, they're saying, you know what, it's best to be alone than to be in a relationship that is wrong for you, than to be with a man who's wrong for you, than to be with somebody who's literally draining you both mentally, physically, and emotionally. Do you guys agree with this? What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear from you guys. But one thing is for sure, when a woman decides to be single, there is a reason behind it. When a woman decides, you know what, I'm okay just being me, loving me, having peace of mind, just taking time, to build herself financially, and literally, to focus on herself, be centered on herself, to become a better human being. There's a reason behind it. So let me know what your thoughts are, and please subscribe to my channel.